Welcome to another deep dive. We're the Morss Global Finance podcast team, and I'm John.
I'm Tiffany.
And we're going to take a look at some research you sent our way about investing in precious metals.
Looking specifically at SD Bullion and Money Metals Exchange.
Yeah, two popular platforms.
Mm-hmm.
We've got all the info you sent over, and we're going to try to break it all down for you. Their services, their fees, and what makes each one unique.
So maybe we can start with the first question most people would have, are these companies trustworthy?
Yeah, for sure. And that's what's really interesting about SD Bullion. They started in 2012, and in a little over a decade, they became a top 100 online retailer.
Mm-hmm.
In 2024, they were even ranked with huge companies, CVS and Microsoft.
Wow, that kind of fast growth usually means a company is doing something right. Plus, their founder got that Entrepreneur of the Year award back in 2023, so they seem pretty committed to, building trust.
Okay, cool. So SD Bullion seems pretty good, but what about Money Metals Exchange? What makes them different?
Well, they do more than just buy and sell. They've got IRAs, loans using precious metals as collateral, and even monthly purchase plans.
Wait, hold on. You can get a loan and use metals as collateral.
Yeah. It could be a good option if you need cash fast but don't want to sell your metals, in case they go up in value later.
Yeah, that's a good point. So it sounds like Money Metals Exchange could be better for someone who wants to try different investing strategies.
Exactly. And both companies actually have way more than just gold and silver. They have platinum, palladium, even copper.
Copper. Is
Right.
that like a good investment?
It's definitely cheaper than those other metals, so it could be good if you're just starting out. And copper is used in a lot of industries, so it's not, just based on what investors think.
Okay, so copper could be a good option for someone who is just trying out precious metals. But let's get to the important stuff, pricing.
SD Bullion seems to be all about keeping costs low. No account fees, storage starting at $9.99 a month, and free shipping if you spend over $199. They're very transparent about pricing, too.
So SD Bullion is good for the budget investor.
Yeah.
But what about Money Metals Exchange? Are their prices competitive?
Not really, but they have a lot of other features. They have real-time price updates and price alerts. That could be really useful for people who, want to make the most of changes in the market.
So Money Metals Exchange is more for the investor who likes to be more hands-on with their precious metals.
Yeah, exactly. And they have these starter packs for beginners, which is nice if you're feeling a little lost with all the options.
That makes sense. So let's say I'm new to this and I need some help. What about customer support?
SD Bullion is great for that. They have it all. Phone, live chat, email, and a huge FAQ section on our website.
Wow, they really cover everything. What about Money Metals Exchange? Do they have the same level of support?
It's mostly phone and email, but their website has tons of info on it. They really focus on educating their customers with lots of guides.
So Money Metals Exchange is probably better for someone who likes to do their own research and learn things independently.
You got it. And last but not least, both companies have that A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, which is always good to see.
Okay, so that's a good sign. But what about other reviews from customers?
SD Bullion always has great reviews on different websites, which means they really care about keeping their customers happy.
That's awesome to hear. And you mentioned earlier that Money Metals Exchange had more mixed reviews.
Yeah, they're still a solid company, but they have a few more mixed reviews than SD Bullion. You might want to check recent reviews on a few different websites to get the full picture.
Yeah, it's always a good idea to do your research, especially when it comes to your money. So, okay, we've got the basic idea now, but I want to know more about each platform.
Let's talk about actually buying some of this precious metal.
Yeah, I'm picturing myself getting that package and opening it up, seeing all the shiny gold bars.
Well, before we get there, it's important to know how buying works. With SD Bullion, it's pretty easy. You just call, lock in the price, and they take care of shipping it to you.
Okay, that sounds simple. But what about selling? What if I want to sell my metals later on?
SD Bullion is really good at that too. You just call them, get a quote, and send your metals in. They usually pay you within a few days after they check everything.
That's pretty quick. So buying and selling seems easy with them. But what about storage? I don't really want to keep a bunch of gold under my mattress.
Yeah, I get it. Both companies actually offer secure storage, like vaults. SD Bullion storage starts at $9.99 a month, which isn't bad.
But is it safe? Really safe?
Oh, yeah, definitely. The CEO of SD Bullion uses their storage for his own metals. Plus, everything is insured by Lloyd's of London.
Okay, so they really believe in their own service. What about Money Metals Exchange? How is their storage?
They do offer storage, but they're really known for their IRAs.
You mean like retirement accounts? Can you even have precious metals in an IRA?
You sure can, and Money Metals Exchange makes it really simple. You can move your money from a regular retirement account into a precious metals IRA without, having to pay any extra taxes.
Wait a minute, so I can take my retirement savings and put them into precious metals. How does that even work?
They call it a rollover. It's basically moving your money from one retirement account to another. Money Metals Exchange walks you through the whole thing, and they have a bunch of different metals you can choose from for your IRA, like gold, silver, platinum, even palladium.
So I can make my retirement portfolio more diverse with precious metals and not get hit with, like, tax penalties. That's amazing. Are there other things that Money Metals Exchange offers that are, like, special?
Remember that gold loan thing we talked about? That's their specialty. You can basically use your precious metals like a guarantee to get a loan. Could be a lifesaver if you really need money.
Wow, so it's like having a backup plan built into your precious metals investment.
Exactly. And they have this thing called a monthly purchase plan, which is pretty cool. You can use it to like dollar cost average your purchases. It's a smart way to, reduce risk if the market goes up and down a lot.
I've heard that term before, dollar cost averaging, but I don't really get it. Can you explain?
Sure. It basically means you invest the same amount of money regularly, no matter what the price is. So you buy less when prices are high and you buy more when prices are low. It helps you pay a more average price over time.
Okay, so it's a way to not, like, buy high and then have to sell low.
Exactly. It's a good strategy if you're planning to invest for a long time. Okay, let's switch gears now and talk about their shipping policies. They each do things a bit differently, so it's good to know the details.
Yeah, let's get into it. What should we know about shipping with SD Bullion?
They offer free shipping if you spend over $199, and that's anywhere in the US, and all the shipments are insured. But, they do need someone to sign for the package when it's delivered.
So I have to be home to sign. What if I'm not there?
Yeah, it could be a little annoying. They do help with insurance claims if, like, a package gets lost or stolen,
Yeah.
but you have to, give them proof and stuff.
Okay, so it's good to know about that. What about Money Metals Exchange? How does their shipping work?
They really make sure the buyer knows it's their job to make sure the delivery goes smoothly. Like, you need to give the right shipping address and actually be there to get the package.
So it's more up to the buyer to get it right. What happens if the package is, like, lost or late?
They're pretty strict about when you report problems. You got to tell them about a lost package within a week of when it was supposed to arrive.
And if I don't tell them within 30 days?
They might just resell your metals and give you back your money, minus some fees.
Wow, that's intense. So it's definitely important to keep track of things and let them know right away if something's wrong with the delivery. Okay, so now we know about shipping. What about paying?
They both have a bunch of different ways to pay, so you can choose what works for you. SD Bullion takes bank wires, personal or cashier's checks, money orders, and credit or debit cards.
That's pretty standard. Anything different?
They're also getting into crypto. They accept Bitcoin for purchases up to $250,000.
Oh, wow. They're keeping up with the times. What about Money Metals Exchange? Do they take Bitcoin too?
They do. They also accept bank wire transfers, credit and debit cards, checks, money orders, and, of course, Bitcoin.
So both companies make it easy to buy precious metals no matter how you want to pay.
You got it. Now, let's wrap things up by looking at customer support again. SD Bullion is really impressive with all their options. They've got phone support, live chat, email, and a huge FAQ section on their website.
It's like they're going above and beyond to make sure customers are happy.
Yeah.
What about Money Metals Exchange? How do they compare?
Their main thing is phone and email support. But their website is like a gold mine of information. They have guides, articles, and videos to help you make good decisions.
So it really just depends what you prefer. Do you want to get help right away through different channels? Or do you like to learn on your own at your own speed?
Yeah, it really seems like they both have their good points when it comes to customer support, but I guess what matters most is, are people actually happy with the service?
For sure. And that's why it's a good idea to look at reviews from more than just the Better Business Bureau.
Okay, so what did our research show? SD Bullion always gets great reviews on a bunch of different websites, so it seems like they really try to make their customers happy.
That's good. What about Money Metals Exchange? You said earlier that the reviews were kind of mixed.
Yeah, they're still a good company, but they have a few more negative reviews than SD Bullion. It's probably a good idea to check out recent reviews from a few different sites to get a better idea.
Yeah, it's always smart to do your research, especially when you're talking about investing your money. So after looking at all this, what would you tell our listener who's trying to decide between these two companies?
Well, if you want good prices, transparency, and a lot of ways to get help, SD Bullion might be the best choice. They have a really good reputation for being affordable and having great customer service.
And if you're more interested in trying different investment strategies, you like having lots of educational resources, and you're interested in those unique services like the gold loan and the monthly purchase plan,
Yeah.
then Money Metals Exchange might be better for you.
At the end of the day, they're both reliable companies that offer a safe way to invest in precious metals. The best choice really depends on what you want and what your investment goals are.
Yeah, it's different for everyone.
Yeah.
But there's one more thing I wanted to mention. We talked about paying with things like bank transfers and checks, but both companies also take Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And it shows a trend that's growing in the precious metals market.
It seems like more and more investors are looking to put their money in both traditional and digital things.
Yeah, like having Bitcoin as an option brings up some cool questions. Does it mean we're changing how we think about value and safety? Are we moving towards a future where traditional and digital investments just work together seamlessly?
Those are really good questions to think about. I think it just shows how much the investing world is changing all the time.
Exactly. It's a really interesting time to be an investor. You have to stay up to date and be ready to adapt.
So to our listener out there, we encourage you to think carefully about the good and bad points of each platform. Consider your own investment goals and how much risk you're willing to take. And don't be afraid to embrace the new changes in finance.
And remember, the more you know about investing in precious metals, the better decisions you can make.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into SD Bullion and Money Metals Exchange. We hope this helped you understand your options and gave you some things to think about as you start investing in precious metals.